few weeks ago, I was feeling off. I was like creating, doing, filming, content, like writing, copy, all the things entrepreneurs do, wearing all the different hats all the time. And I had like used every ounce of everything I had left: creative juices, admin juices, critical thinking, brain waves, all of it. And I was feeling off, feeling very depleted. And I wanted to be feeling abundant and creative again, because I was also in the middle of creating and launching the attention audit. And so it was like, I need to keep this up. I need to keep this energy up and stay upbeat. And like, just working out, in my opinion, once you've feng shuied and like interacted with your space, you can't think your way out of feeling off. You can exercise and like get those energy waves and hits, but if you're short on time, well, working out is still worth it. But like, you also can adjust some things in your space that help you feel energized. So today I'm going to share with you 5 ways that I made adjustments in my space to my feng shui to help me not feel off, to help me feel more creative and abundant again and get back in flow so I could finish my launch strong. And I did. The launch went really well, thanks. These were simple adjustments. I didn't go out and purchase anything. I just used and repurposed and repositioned items already in my home. And this is a good note for anybody who's interested in feng shuiing, or even if you've never heard about feng shui at all and you're like, what is it? But I also love self-development tools and personal development tools. So like, I'm listening. That's you talking to me, which is how I, Jeanette Zizikowski, help high-level entrepreneurs create successful personal lives so they get more money, more growth, more balance, all of the things, more celebrations, all the things. I share feng shui and these energy and life strategy tools as personal development tools, not as like get rich quick or woo woo. Like, I'm very practical in how I share this stuff. So even if you don't consider yourself woo woo, this is the place to be. So note to self, as you do these feng shui things, as you make space adjustments in your space to feel better, you don't want to be shopping for something new every single time you feel off. Even if you're not, like, feng shui aside, if you're feeling off, you don't want to go shopping every time you feel off, because you're going to feel off again and again. That's just part of evolving. That's part of life. That's part of being human and navigating our emotions. Like, there's going to be another day you feel off, a lot of them. And if you shop every single time you feel off, every time we get that dopamine hit from shopping, right? It's like you go, you spend some money, you buy something new and shiny and it's fun and it's pretty and you get that dopamine hit and then you feel good. And what happens over time is that you're programming that off feeling. It's going to get a very physically expensive and fiscally expensive, because that dopamine hit is only going to be cured by like more expensive, bigger and nicer, newer, more things. It just gets more difficult to subside. And every time you feel off, if you go shopping, then our emotions are teachers. And so you're going to get that off feeling, and it's going to be programmed in your brain like, oh, well, this means off now equals I have to go shopping, because when I get something else, it off shows that I'm missing something. I don't have enough of something. I'm lacking something, because when I go shop, I get that dopamine hit and I feel better. And I've also acquired something. I've gotten more. So now that off feeling that you're going to have a lot throughout your life, if you're growing and evolving and you are as a high achieving entrepreneur, every time you feel off, it's going to encourage you to shop. And that is how people end up in a house full of stuff that they don't really care about, that doesn't mean anything to them. That's how people end up in a full house of stuff, but empty inside. So when you're feeling down, shop your house instead. And that's what I did. And a second added bonus to shopping your house instead of going out and shopping and buying a bunch of stuff you're not going to appreciate later is that you're going to realize how abundant you already are. And when you're in this, like, I feel off, whether you're real woo and you like manifestation hacks, or you just like you've read any kind of like money mind book, they talk about feel grateful, feel abundant, feel these things before you actually have that. And when you're shopping your home, there's a lot of things that we forget we have. Like, I bet if I asked you right now, what's the picture hanging up to the left of your front door, right inside the doorway, or 3 feet inside your doorway, you wouldn't know what picture was hanging there. And you'd be like, well, there's a frame. What's the picture inside the frame? And if you're like, Jeanette, I totally know it and it's this and this, then okay, whatever. You're right, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm trying to get across is that, like, we have these things hanging up and we have stuff in our house that we totally forget we have. And so when you're shopping your house to add these feng shui upgrades and like rejuvenate the the energy in your house is you're looking for a white vase, a candle, a gold picture frame, and you're looking around your house for stuff. You find all this other stuff that you have, and you come across all this other stuff that you have, and you're like, huh, like I have more than I thought I have, or oh, I forgot I had this. And that's just another nice bonus to shopping your house instead. And I guess that wasn't a second added bonus because the first thing was a piece of advice, and then it was a bonus. You're going to find stuff along the way that you forgot you had, and you're going to realize how abundant you are. This is the second added bonus, but like my third point is that you may literally come across a gap in your decor. How often are you already kind of like shopping when you feel off? And so you've accumulated all this stuff, and then you're like, I have 7 of these. I have 3 of these. Like, I don't need these pillows. Or like today, this isn't my decor, but I bought more granola. I don't need more granola. I just bought a bag of granola. And so you're like double shopping, but that's like what happens for a lot of people who go to Target and Home Goods a lot. They end up with multiple vases or a lot of these things that they just don't need that are repetitive. But if you shop your house first, after you repurpose and reposition things, you might realize you actually have a gap in decor. So for me, you'll see here, I'm rearranging some things and adding in some things. And I realized now in like 3 different areas of my house, I could use a really like large scale something. Like there's a few different areas I could use like a big vase or like a really oversized sculpture, because most things I have are like this big and I need them to be like this big. So you actually also come across gaps in your decor. And now it's really exciting when you shop because you know you need it. And I don't know about you, but after a while, it is more fun to shop and like look around when you're like looking for something specific. It brings back the joy of shopping and not just buying things on Amazon. But that's like a story and a philosophical conversation for another day. The death of the shopping experience. This brings the fun back. Let's get into 5 different shifts I made in my house when I was feeling off and I wanted to be feeling abundant and creative. I've got the pictures I'm gonna put up here on the screen, here on my screen down here. So as I look down here, this is what you'll be looking at. The first thing I did is I upgraded the first thing I saw when going into my office. Here is a lovely/ugly before. It's like that concept of like, I'm totally saying it wrong, but I always say it wrong, but like the cobbler's last to get good shoes, or I think it's the cobbler's kids are the last to get shoes. But the point is, usually the expert is like, I feng shui last. I'm always helping other people feng shui their homes, fix their homes, getting the reports out, assessing other people's stuff. And it's not until I feel off, and because I've done my base feng shui, it's not until I feel off that I kind of notice these other problem areas. So like I kind of hadn't realized how ugly this has gotten. And one of my most common pieces of advice to people is, what is the first thing you see when you walk into your office, into your house, into your bedroom? Like these are really important areas. And I won't overwhelm you with all of the layers to that. But so just first, like you're going into your office, and this is what I did. When I went into my office, I saw all this stuff and I was like, whoa, that's not fun to see. Like this old challenge I was finishing up, bills, project files, like tax stuff, just like there's nothing more boring than the first thing you see walking into your office being your printer area and your bills and stuff. That was an obvious upgrade that needed to happen, and I did. It's cool, I have this water feature, which it's funny because that's going to get moved again, because this picture, while it looks really pretty, is actually not great feng shui because of what the water feature is energizing. We don't want that energy energized. We don't want that energy activated, and water activates energy. But it looked really good, and originally the water feature was actually on the floor because in July or June, the energy for the month was really good in that area, and I just put the water feature there to activate it, and I did. I ended up having my best, highest cash month in June. So it worked, and then I never moved it to another place. I just didn't really think about it because my highest cash month means a lot of projects came in. So I was kind of thinking about other things. These pictures here, mountains are good for that area. The blues and the greens are good for that area. And overall, and those pictures too actually used to be my old background, and they had just been like leaning against a wall. So it was good to not have this half done project of pictures leaning and waiting to be hung up somewhere laying around my house. The less to-dos you have laying around your house, the better your feng shui is gonna be. The second thing I did was I moved my water feature to make me money again. Yes. So I kind of already got ahead of myself. In June, the energy in that direction was really good. So I added the water feature there to activate that energy. And then in July and August, it wasn't that great. And especially in August is when things start to feel off and going like just not as smooth as they normally do. And I don't feel as energized as I normally do. That's when I know to look in the details, like, okay, something's off, like if I feel unbalanced, something in my house is unbalanced. And so I go look in. Notice the water feature was running in an area that should not be running. And I moved it again to the part of my house where there's money energy, more money energy. And so we moved it to that more prime location. And that's what I mean by in that first position, it wasn't good feng shui. It's an example of how like, even though it looks pretty, it doesn't mean it's going to help your life. It doesn't mean it's going to help you feel good. It doesn't mean, like, for me, achieving my goals and becoming the best version of myself is always my main priority. I don't care if everything is ugly. The good news is you get to pick your own design and you get to make things the way you like it and the aesthetic you want to have, and your space can feel good. But just because something is trendy or Pinterest perfect or brand new or like all the rage at Home Goods doesn't mean it's good feng shui. You get what I'm saying? You can prioritize your aesthetic and balancing the feng shui and the elements in your home. Just because someone says something's ugly doesn't mean it's bad. Just because something's really popular, trendy, expensive, and new doesn't mean it's good. So while it looked good in that position, I moved it because I need water somewhere else. Okay, the third thing I did is I hung up pictures that had been laying around. So I mentioned those first pictures, they had been laying around because I moved them. They were my old backdrop. They had been sitting in a different part of my office, just kind of propped up and nice until I figured out and got the energy to like pick a spot. Because what happens is, or like, oh, we're gonna paint, or oh, like, I don't fully know what's going on in this room yet, so I don't want to hang anything up yet. And I don't fully subscribe to that. Like, I do believe that there's a balance between waiting and until you have like an intentional place to put it, but not waiting so long for things like paint and wallpaper that are going to take years, right? We don't want to be perpetually in this waiting limbo. If your decor and your feng shui and things in your house, these kind of projects, like if you're waiting to make your house look nice, your life will continue to wait. One of my favorite phrases is your goals are coming at you as fast as you're going at your goals. And doing your feng shui, making your home feel good, getting those to-do projects that have been laying around done, that's part of going after your goals. Like, you can become ideal you. You can show up every day as ideal you when you're not surrounded by to-dos in your environment. So the third thing, I hung up those pictures, and then some other ones. Here's a picture of this other picture I got in Peru, and to be honest, it was in this like fine spot when you walk in my house. It's a cool picture. But I got it in Peru, and I got it like really expensively framed, and I cannot believe since I moved into this house, I have not done anything with it. But like, it was sitting in a fine location, but it really needed like a home for how much I like intentionally purchased it, intentionally framed it. So we found it a spot. And yes, this is my point, is like, that lamp isn't perfect, but I shopped my house. I needed metal in that area. I shopped my house. It was in a different part of the room where it wasn't really house where it wasn't really being used, so I moved it down there. Does that lamp look like aesthetically absolutely perfect with that piece of art? Like, would that go in Architectural Digest? No, but that's not the point. I placed the picture intentionally, and I love where it is, and I love seeing it and reminding myself that I'm fun and cool and I've done fun, cool things. And then I have the lamp there because I needed metal, and I don't want to buy a lamp for that location yet when I don't really know the aesthetic and what's going on there. So bought a lamp in my house. Then I straightened things. So that's just funny. There was other things like, if I feel off, what is off in my house? How cheesy. But True. This picture in this picture frame had fallen crooked inside the frame for like over a month, but I mentioned to you that I was so into doing like the attention audit, creating that program, scripting it, putting it in Telegram, interacting with the people. The attention audit turned out great, by the way. If you are looking to regain your attention and your energy, which obviously you are, I actually didn't plan for this. Obviously you are. You're feeling off, you're watching this video. If you want to help regain your attention, or refocus your attention so that you regain more energy, that's what the attention audit is. I'll put the link in the description of this video. That was unplanned, but it definitely fits along here, right? But as I'm going through, as I'm like so in on that and in the zone, and as you're in the zone and you're on like in the middle of projects where you just feel so in flow and you're so into them, don't feel bad if the kitchen isn't perfect, if the decor isn't perfect, if laundry's piling up. If you're feeling inspired and you've got this wave of creativity, lean into it, right? We want to act as fastly as possible on these hits of excitement and creativity. That's important. Like, we usually are sitting around waiting for those downloads to come in and living our life waiting for those downloads to come in. So whenever I'm feeling in flow and so excited about creating a new project, I don't care if my kitchen looks crazy. I don't care if I haven't vacuumed in a while. I don't care if the pictures in the picture frame are a little crooked, because you move the needle, you do the things that move the needle first, and then here I am regrouping, right? Finish the project. It was the program, it was a success. And now is when I can, like, as I'm regaining my energy, it's a very therapeutic, ritualistic process, Feng Shui. It's like when you're feeling off, instead of shopping, which can be a very empty feeling, you just give the things you have attention with intention. You go around your home, it's acts of gratitude, it's acts of I'm so thankful for this house, even if it isn't perfect, even if it isn't my dream home. Thank you for protecting me as I created. Thank you for protecting me as I grow this business. Thank you for keeping me safe and warm and like healthy. Shopping doesn't give you that. Buying more new things doesn't give you that. And so walking around your home and you're trying to regain energy. So I straightened the picture in this frame. I straightened up some other frames that had gotten crooked. And I just like went around my house and gave some love and gratitude and appreciation to all of the things I already have. That was number 4. And number 5 is I threw out my dried lemons. If you haven't heard of the Feng Shui lemon cure, I have a reel about it on Instagram. I can share the link in the description of this, but I should probably make a YouTube video about it. I talk about the lemon cure all the time on Instagram, and I'm sure there's a reel somewhere already on YouTube, but I should make another one. If you want to know about the lemon cure, comment below lemons and I'll send you the link to the reel so you can watch the video that already talks about it. And in the near future, I will make a lemon video, but I threw away the old lemons. Basically, 9 lemons in a bowl is a abundance ritual. It's, for lack of a better word, like brings good luck with money and abundance. And yeah, usually when I put 9 lemons in a bowl in a specific area, I get some kind of hit of money. And if they spoil really quickly, they're sucking out negative energy in your house, in your space. It like cleanses your space. Well, mine, all the energy was good and pure, and so they just dried up. And in this picture, this is when they're like looking good and ripe and wonderful. But in reality, they had like really dried up and gotten really hard and small. And so I threw them out to refresh the space. And I will be buying another 9 lemons here shortly. So in your case, what you can do if you're feeling off, do you have any dead flowers outside? Is there any dead landscaping in front of your house? Do you have any dried fruit? Another great one for you is that you could check your fridge. Is there just like a bunch of expired things that are off, that are influencing you to feel off, right? It's very therapeutic as well to clear out and throw away any expired things in your fridge, or throw out your 9 lemons that have already dried, not your good ones. Tell me which one you liked the best. Which one can you apply to your space today? Which one are you like, oh yeah, I've been feeling kind of off because you're watching this video. I can go do that right now. And comment below, which one are you gonna go do right now? Tell me how you feel after the fact. If you liked this video, if you got even a little bit of value, it please, please, please helps my channel. If you like it, if you share it, if you and another friend have been commiserating about how you're feeling a little down, if you and another entrepreneur friend of yours is like, we want things to pick up, you've been commiserating together, share this video with them. This channel can spread and get bigger, and we can help more people love their lives and create successful personal lives if we spread the word. I really appreciate your help. If you do, like, subscribe, and share this video. I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next one.